This is a very quick video to talk about equipment that I recommend for walking your dog. And this video is going to be sent around in advance of any of my loose lead walking workshops and also just after the loose lead walking week of puppy and advancing skills class. If you found this video on my YouTube channel or on my Facebook and you're not taking classes with me, don't worry, I'm hoping this will still make sense. So, in terms of equipment for loose lead walking, what I recommend is as a harness, specifically a Y-fronted harness. It's called a Y-fronted harness because the front portion that goes on the chest of your dog is shaped like a Y. There are other styles of harnesses that you can buy, but I recommend this one because it allows your dog the most freedom of movement. It doesn't restrict their natural gait, which hopefully means that there aren't any knock-on effects in terms of restricting that movement in terms of later life pressure on their joints and things like that. I also like on my Y-fronted harnesses to have 2 points of contact. So 1 point of contact on the back, which you can see here, and 1 point of contact on the front and the chest, which is here. And the reason for that is that I then recommend the use of a double-ended lead. So that is a fixed length lead, so a lead which doesn't retract and has a clip on one end and the same clip on the other end. This enables you to clip one end of your lead to that point of contact and the other end of your lead to that point of contact, giving you 2 points of contact on your dog. That's really helpful for a number of reasons which I won't go into in this video, but we do discuss in class, and that is extensively discussed on things like the Perfect Fit website. But it basically gives you a good balance with your dog, and it means that you are more sort of well-rounded and well-connected to your dog. I also like it because having the 2 points connected to your lead gives your dog a really strong contextual clue that we are about to do some loose lead walking. So when I've got my dogs clipped on to the 2 clips on my harness, that's when I'm going to be training my loose lead walking. That's when I'm going to be doing my sort of focused work. That's when I'm going to be rewarding eye contact and doing my loose lead walking training. If I come to a point in the walk where I am not loose lead walking and potentially I'm stopping my training for that session, perhaps letting the dog sniff, or maybe I just want a break from my training. I just need 5 minutes and I'm going to scatter some food and let them sort of refresh. I will unclip the front, which means that I've still got my dog on the lead, but that gives the dog the context that I'm no longer expecting loose lead walking. You can sniff, you can eat the food, etc, etc, etc. This is really helpful if you have your dog on a long line. So you're not letting your dog off at the moment because they haven't got the right recall or it's not appropriate in that environment. And if you clip the long line to the back, it enables the dog to understand that, oh, when the long line's clipped on just to the back, that's when I get my freedom. And then when I've got my front clip and the back clip clipped on, that's when we're expecting loose lead walking. Now, obviously that comes with training and time. That's not instant, but it is what we're working towards. So I just want to leave the final note of this video to talk about other forms of equipment. There is a lot of other options out there. The only other one that I'm comfortable using after I've trained a loose lead walk is just a normal flat collar and a normal lead. I don't like starting off with that if my dog is pulling because I think it puts too much pressure on this quite vulnerable area. And there was a study, I think it came out last year, which is 2022, it might be 2021, saying that there could be a link between pressure on the neck and the thyroid gland, and there being some kind of link between disruption on that. So I'm not a big fan of just having the collar on and teaching straight away on the collar. Once your dog knows how to walk, I think it's fine to walk them on a collar. Anyway, aside from the collar and a harness, there's still a lot of other equipment out there. I won't go into it all, but there's all sorts on the market, even stuff that promises to like stop your dog pulling instantly type stuff. Most of that equipment, or all of it that I've seen, relies on some kind of punishment or some kind of pain or some kind of force being exerted onto the dog, which makes it uncomfortable or painful for your dog to pull in that scenario. And that's not something that ethically I promote, we train with, but it's also not something that's needed, because you can have them in a harness which doesn't exert any pressure or force, or when it's well fitted, shouldn't cause any problems to your dog, and you can teach them loose lead walking without the use of that type of equipment. So I would strongly recommend that you don't go down that rabbit hole. Also, just on that note, if anything out there is promising you guaranteed loose lead walking training and it's just a tool that you put on your dog, I would be really careful with that, because there's a lot of scams and a lot of stuff out there that's making promises that it's not delivering on. So the only way to teach your dog how to do something is to do some training. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. Give me a shout if you need to ask any questions, and if you're local to the area, then I would highly recommend that you visit the Leominster Pet Centre, where they can do your dog a really personalised fitting for a harness, which is wide-fronted and has the 2 points of contact. If you're not local to the area, then the brands that I tend to recommend are Dog Copenhagen, really nice brand, or this brand which I'm holding at the moment, which is Perfect Fit, and they are really, really super helpful if you give them a ring or you email them. Okay, hope that's helpful.